Okay, welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus and the Wasde Report. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. All the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. So we are here for the Wasde Report. It is a family money trade. And I like the Wasde Report. Been trading it for many, many, many years. There's some interesting things happening on this report that I think might help us to make some money. And we're going to go over that. I want to say hello to everyone who's watching us on YouTube. And we're going to get started with that. Arthur, I don't know what link you mean. What link? This morning's trade room? Is that what you're talking about? I haven't posted it. I don't have a link for it yet. Send me an email if you would, please, for specifically what you'd like. All right? Okay, so we are trading soybeans. Soybeans. You know what, Arthur? I think you can send me an email. I'll explain what you can do. All right. Soybeans, ZS 0725. All right. We're trading that. We're trading also corn, ZC 0725. Those are the correct contracts. One thing you might want to do with grains, you can right click your chart, click on data series, and trading hours, change it to 24, default 24/7. Default 24/7. Apply it and OK it. Do the same thing on corn. Right click the chart, trading hours. We're going to make it default 24/7. Because of the hours that the grains trade, they calculate their pivots a little bit differently. And this is the way we calculate our pivots for the grains. It's slightly different than most of the other futures markets. Okay? It's not going to affect the trade, it just affects the way your levels appear on the grain charts. Now, the last time we tried to trade a grain, we couldn't trade because soybean oil had gone limit up or down. I don't remember if it was up or down. It was very disappointing because we really liked the report that we were trying to trade last month, and that report's coming up next week. So that was the NOPA report. So keep an eye on that. I believe that's going to be Monday. I'm positive it's going to be Monday. So I'll see everybody on Monday for that NOPA report, and I'm assuming that we'll be able to trade. That was very unusual. Grains, you could see they were up and they've gone down, just like most charts, up and down. They were bullish early this morning, and they've been selling off since 8:45 this morning. Right now, a little bit of bearish action on soybeans. When you look at corn on a 15-minute chart, it's very similar, not quite as negative, but it's a very similar chart. Bullish overnight, little bit of sell-off, not as much sell-off as we've seen on soybeans. Soybeans, I'm thinking, are going to be way worse off because of the tariffs and the trade war. A lot of countries are not buying soybeans anymore from the United States. They're buying them elsewhere because of trade policies in the U.S., just like many border towns in the U.S. are suffering from no tourism whatsoever. because Canadians are withholding their tourist dollars because of a tariff war with your best friends. Those are not, maybe not the best ways to have trade policies. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Anyway, Wasde. What happened to Wasde last month? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. How did Wasde do last month? So here's a video of the Wasde report. Now, we have noticed that corn is definitely waking up from a couple of years slumber. Corn used to be the main instrument we used to trade on Wasde. And it started waking up on the quarterly grain report. And it looks like it might be waking up a little bit on Wasde as well. Another thing that we do know about Wasde is it does have a trend to reverse. Wasde often reverses after the news pretty quickly also. But you could see that corn, did it blow our tiny little trap last month? We had a real nice breakout on soybeans. And then corn on the trap, it did eventually give us a tiny profit. And actually, it wound up being a better reversal than we expected. So I will expect a reversal on both instruments. That's the norm, okay? That's the norm on this report. That's the truth. It's the norm. So I will set up our normal breakouts, our normal breakout on soybeans. And I'll set up a reverse continuation on soybeans also. So that'll do that first on my soybean chart. Oh, let me turn on my prop account. Now, corn. Bull and Ox will not let us trade corn. So if you're going to trade corn, I'm pretty sure the bull will not let you. So product code not permissioned. I wrote them an email. I asked them, "Hey, why no corn? Why no bonds?" They made some sort of ridiculous, I don't know, scamming and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, there are other companies out there that let you trade all instruments. So I don't know what they're talking about. Apex doesn't let you trade bonds. It's kept under wraps too. Nobody talks about it. I think it's more of a big deal than people let on. So if you're going to trade corn, you have to trade cash or a prop account that allows corn to be traded. Okay? I'm going to trade corn in our cash account on Wasde as a trap trade. Now, if we look at all the data we have data for years on the spikes on this event using corn going back more than 2 years. The biggest spike on corn in the past 2 years has been 36 ticks. 36 ticks. So what does that mean? What it's going to mean is the trap trade that I'm going to set up is going to not allow for a stop unless we go much more than 36 ticks. our zone of safety is going to be bigger than 36 ticks. And we have over 2.5 years of safe data. The thing you want to understand, it's important to understand that that doesn't mean a trap trade is automatically safe. It means at the time the news was released, it wasn't a stop. Okay? That's a big difference between a trade being safe. It means our setup is safe initially. Okay? It's initially safe. But it also means that if you'd like, there might be some better opportunities trading the breakout on corn. Okay? It's an 8-tick bracket, targets of 8 and 22 with a stop of 15. That's the breakout. I like the trap. Corn often reverses on this news. We're past the planting season, so I don't think we're going to get an anomaly kind of report. So I'll give it a shot. I'm going to trigger my trap trade at 11:59:55. 5 seconds before the news. My stop is going to be 20, and I'll tell you right now, if it looks like corn's going to go higher, I would probably increase the stop a little bit to survive in the trade to get the reversal that I think will come. But we will make that decision in the trade. If we get triggered, if we get filled, I'm going to use 18 and 32 on my tiers. 18 and 32 on my tiers. My zone of safety is 52 ticks. 52 ticks. 16 ticks bigger than any trap trade has spiked in more than 2.5 years. I like that. I like those. I like that testing. Okay? So that's my ZC trap. And I have to trade that in cash because for whatever reason, Bull and Ox doesn't let us trade corn, but they let us trade soybeans. Somebody's got to explain that to me because I don't get it. I'm not a genius, but I'm reasonably intelligent. And it's welcome to Scamerica. That's my personal feeling. Everywhere we go, we have to look for the truth and we can never find it. I'm tired of feeling like I'm being scammed. All right? I'm tired. Very tired today. Anyway, then we go to soybeans. Let's go to soybeans. I can't handle the truth. No, I cannot handle the truth. Prequels, sequels, triple sequels. My goodness. How much do you need? Anyway, soybean breakout is my choice of trade. It's a strategy, click strategies, click news trader. The breakout takes place at 11:59:58. The bracket is 12. Our targets are 9 and 25. You bet, Arthur. So I've got to laugh at what Arthur is typing. So let me finish setting up the trade. Right click the chart, click on strategy, click news trader, 11:59:58, right? Bracket of 12, position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Targets anywhere between, 9 and 40 is not unreasonable. The stop is 20. And I would move my stop to break even -5 or 4 or 3 because this report has a propensity to reverse. Okay? It does have a propensity to reverse. Nitin says that Take Profit Trader allows you to trade corn and soybean. And I think Take Profit lets you trade bonds also. Nitin, is that true? Yeah. Soybeans are ZS 0725. ZS space 0725. Don't forget, TJ, if I'm dead, you know how to find the code. If you know the prefix, just start typing it. I'll show you. Start typing it on your chart and look down. I'll show you. Let me show you. So the trade target 1 stop move BE -4, stop of 20. All right, we're going to label it ZS breakout, and we're going to trade this on a good prop account. All right, good prop account. I'll check. I'm going to trade it on my best prop account. I like this trade. Let me just check. I did damage to one of my accounts today with that really sad, good test of the high that I just didn't give it a big enough stop. And that is frustrating. And then it went up and tested the high. All right, so let's test our bracket width on soybeans by setting the time to 0. Now the market's not so volatile that I don't think I'm going to get filled if my bracket shows up on the chart. It's pretty quiet right now. And now we'll put our time. We're right in the middle of the range, high and low. It really looks like the grains are waiting for the report today. So 11:59:58 is our trigger time. All right, so our breakout is all set, and I'm going to set up a reverse continuation on soybeans also. Right click the chart, click strategy, click news trader, reverse continue. One position, it's $12.50 a tick for soybeans, just like the S&P. And we'll go for 20 ticks with a 20 stop. All you need on a reversal continuation trade is a position, a target, and a stop. That's all you need. Then you choose the account you're trading in, right? And label it ZS, reverse, whatever you want to call it. Just call it something different than your breakout. Apply it and OK it. Probably don't really need to set up a reverse continuation for corn because we've got a trap trade going. Now, the reason you might still want to do it is because if the trap doesn't fill and there turns out to be a big move in corn, you won't be able to take advantage of it if the trap doesn't fill. So I'm going to set it up. Strategy, news trader, reverse continuation, and I'm just one contract. It's $12.50 a tick. Maybe the trap trade fills and we make a ton of money, and then it changes direction again. And we'll go for 20 ticks. and we'll use a 20 tick stop. That's all we need. One position, one target, one stop. Choose an account. It has to be cash for me. And I'm going to label it ZC reverse continue. Okay, trades are set up. I'll probably pay a little bit closer attention to the trap because that's quote unquote real money, cash. Nobody trades cash anymore. I don't know how these brokers stay in business if nobody's trading cash. Someone's trading cash. And then, so what were we saying? So Arthur made a comment. I don't know, where did this come from, Arthur? Last scene of The Sopranos was Roz, you do trade cash. Nitin trades some cash. TJ, I think, trades a little bit of cash. Sander trades cash. We have serious. Alfonso trades some cash. No, we have a whole lot of people trading cash. A whole lot of people. Arthur, I guess because I was talking about scams. The last scene of The Soprano. Francis, okay, I wasn't sure if Francis for you was trading cash. Last scene of The Sopranos was pure BS. Oh, Nitin, okay, you don't. I thought you were. That's okay. Thanks for the clarification. The last episode of The Sopranos was as bad, in my opinion, as the last episode of Game of Thrones. For some reason, nobody gives it to them. It ruined it didn't ruin the series because the series was so great, just like it didn't ruin Game of Thrones. But people were so up in arms over Game of Thrones ending. It was horrific. It was worse than The Sopranos, but not by much. The Sopranos was the biggest cop out, worst writing, most despicable ending to a show other than Game of Thrones. Why they don't get called out for it, I'll never understand. Took the best show, maybe one of the best shows ever made, and ruined it. Totally ruined it. There was no reason for that. No reason. Now, I'm not saying that Mobland is as good of a show as Sopranos ever was, because it isn't. It was certainly as much fun as any show I've seen in a long time. And the ending was an ending. Whether you like it or not, it was a fun ending. It resolved issues. And it was kind of wacky. And it was fun. The Sopranos was a despicable insult to the audience. Insult. And I don't know why they don't get called out on it. It's beyond comprehension. It gets a pass. I don't give it a pass. Sorry. No pass. Anybody have any questions about trading? We're actually here for trading on the internet. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like what we do online. And we have a busy day today. We still have a bond report and we still have an earnings report. We've got Adobe, 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 and we've got the 30-year bond auction. 30-year bond auction. Wasde. Let's look at another Wasde. We didn't look at the DMM, did we? Not carefully. Let's look at the DMM a little bit more carefully. So Wasde has had 50-50 on soy. It had a cancellation in March. It had a dull trade in February. It just did not really move much. And then in December, it was the dreaded nick fill. A nick fill is when it just nicks the bracket and then reverses and takes you out. But last month, it was a nice big spike. It was a good move last month on both corn and soybeans. Adobe is decent, Roz. I really On earnings, I do my last minute testing the day of. I haven't done my Adobe testing yet, so my memory is not as fresh on it. I want to tell you the truth. It's 4:05, and I think it's got a good opportunity. Is it worth staying up for? Let me look real quick and see what happened last quarter on Adobe. What was the month? So it would have been around March 12th. We're getting close to the trade. So let's take a quick look at Adobe. Now, I knew Oracle, I had been testing Oracle incorrectly, which sometimes happens. So, Roz, we lost money last quarter, but it moved. All right? It moved. And we lost money possibly because our setup was a little bit small on the bracket. All right? So I do think Adobe has a profit opportunity, is the way I would put it. The funny thing with earnings this quarter is the better earnings have been the smaller ones. Um, like some of the morning ones, the big ones, other than a couple, they were a little bit disappointing this quarter. Apple was good, right? We had a great Apple, if I remember correctly. We had a great NVIDIA, so that it goes against that thinking a little bit. But like the Amazons and the Facebooks weren't great. I remember one of those was a small stop. We didn't have huge on the ones you expect, and then some of the morning ones. United Health was good again. Um, Earnings are fun, but they can be a challenge. There's no magic, easy trades other than a couple. There's a couple of great ones, and then every now and then even a great one will grab you. 1 minute. What we'd like to see is a pop all the way to the high. That would hit our target. That would hit our orders, pull us into the market, and probably hit all our targets on soybeans. Now, if it goes down to the low and bursts to the low, but we get a good fill, that would be 25 ticks. I'd rather go up. We have a little more room for profit. UNH is a family money trade. Definitely. Home Depot's a family money trade. Are we going to get a completely dull Wasde today? Did the news already come out? I don't think so. I think it didn't come out yet. Now, it's usually not this late. It's usually not this late. Wow. It's a minute with no move. A minute with no move on either corner soybeans. That's just not normal. It's not normal. Did I get the day wrong, folks? Did we get the Wasde report wrong? June 12th. Did anybody check the schedule? Today is June 12th, right? Is today June 12th? Today is Wasde. I can't trade this. I don't think I want to be filled. I don't want to be filled on soybeans. It's 2 minutes. I'm going to cancel my soybean breakout. And I guess I'm canceling my trap trade as well. This is not what WASD does. It's just not, folks. You know, it may go test the low on soybeans. I'm a cancel. I'm a cancel. It's not what's expected. It's unexpected behavior. It may just dribble down to the low here, and then, you know, it's in a very, very, very quiet, tight range. Now, I'm not seeing any of the results on the Financial Juice website either. Now, you can always put the trade back on by just turning the strategy back on. By clicking the breakout, I turned it back on. Now, I don't think we missed the report. I do think corn is showing a WASD move. It's just very small, very small. And there was a little bit of movement right on the candle after 12. So I'm sorry to say, folks, but this was pretty much a non-event. Let's watch the markets just for a couple more minutes and see if anything happens. See if the news comes out on the Financial Juice website, if it gets reported. Now, we've never seen the WASD report released this late, so I don't expect a burst. I'm a little bit in a state of shock. Russ, there was nothing to reverse. There was almost nothing to reverse. But you could have bought it. I suppose you could have bought it at the low there. You could have bought it at the low. It's a pretty low risk trade. You buy it at the low and you use the low as your stop also. You could use S1 as your stop. It's a tiny stop. That's funny. That's funny, Ross. That's just not enough of a move for me to take that. That's clever. That was good. All right, folks, I'm going to just say everyone goodbye to YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Sometimes things don't get very exciting here. It happens. It's a non-event. Today's WASD. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button on your way out, and we'll see you. I think that's our last stream this week.